Hey there guys, and welcome to the conclusion episode of our little Avorion Let's Play. Well, I really guess that this is not really a big surprise to anyone who has been following since the first episode, as the game in its current state is still in beta. The game for me turned out to be very interesting. I love the mechanics, I love what they're trying to do, but as we moved on and moved through the game, I already started stating my disagreements with how the game is currently assembled, and from looking at the forums and from the Avorion Discord, it already looks like this is something they already have acknowledged from other players and their feedback on the game, and the whole thing is going to be reworked once the game hits version 1.0, which might actually not be that long, perhaps even this year. Again, the team, if you can call two people working on it as a team, is, again, fairly small, and they're not rushing to put it out, which I can, I can understand. There's no reason to rush anything just for the sake of releasing it. And the reason why I know I am going to return to Avorion Let's Plays in the future is because, as of time of recording this video, there have already been preparations in the Steam Workshop to support mods. And as we already know, mods make or break a game. You can just look at games like RimWorld, for example, and, well, I'm very, very interested in what they do to Avorion. Right now, my problem with the game is simply its progression. Perhaps it was a poor choice to place the game on insane difficulty, but in the end, I wanted a challenge, and that is not necessarily the kind of challenge that I got. When every single enemy is a danger to your one ship, there's not much room for you to spread out and use multiple ships, and by multiple ships I mean multiple offensive ships, as in a fleet, to combat these ships, because you're pulling all of your time and effort into a singular ship, or at least that's what happened to me, in order to just keep alive. Again, if not for the speed bypass on our ship, I would have been dead the first time I entered a hostile system. That doesn't mean that I'm not playing Avorion. I am. I can actually show you my single player load where I'm doing something completely else. I try to approach this save from a completely different standpoint, and if you'd like perhaps not a complete moment-by-moment Let's Play, but more of a update, kind of montage in a, sort of that kind of sense, I can easily make that. But let's just load this in. I'm going to show you what exactly is happening. So, welcome to this little monstrosity. As you can see, my overall design of ships has also been revised. I'm currently still sitting at titanium, and as you can see, I'm very much not alone. I actually have a dedicated fleet. So these two ships are generated and bought straight from the shipyard, and they are my go-to, let's say, combat ships. They are dedicated combat ships. So this one is currently 129 Omicron. This thing is 146 Omicron. So this right here is my trader, and this is the only ship that I'm allowed to actually fly on. So that's the challenge. That's the challenge of this well, not Let's Play, it's a single-player game. The reason for that is because it has a firepower of 0 Omicron. That's right. This is something that I mentioned way back when as an idea, that I should totally try a kind of playthrough where I personally cannot fly any ship that has guns on it. So this is my dedicated trading ship. This over here is my salvage shuttle, which is actually pretty beat up right now. It's gonna get fixed at some point. This is my miner. I have only one miner. Actually, no. Now I already have 2 miners. And 2 combat ships. I'm currently playing this save. Let me quickly show you. On beginner difficulty just to test the concept, and it's actually working. And I don't think it's really fun, not simply because I'm playing with multiple ships in these self-imposed roles, but rather because the difficulty itself. Everything kind of dies very quickly, very easily, and it's not unfair because the first pirate systems or hostiles that you encounter are multiple hostiles, and so you're not really equipped too well. I guess the difficulty in our actual Let's Play, or the now former Let's Play, was one of the factors that made me lose interest. But that's just a guess. I am going to return to Avorion when it gets finished. I have no doubt of that. I'm actually going to keep playing it, and it is a single-player game, sure. Videos of it are going to come at a later date, once they start introducing mods that I can test. And I think this game, if it gets a decent modding community as well, is going to turn out just fine. I was very glad to see how RimWorld grew up, I was very glad to see how Prison Architect grew up, and I have very high hopes for Avorion in the future as well. But as of today, my Let's Play of Avorion is complete without reaching the actual core. That is to say, I don't know what's inside. We did play on a multiplayer server. I know what comes next. If you don't, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But let's just say that the game isn't finished. And boy does it show. There is no endgame right now. Well, there is, but let's just say that the effort that it takes to get there is unsatisfactory as it is right now. I'm gonna miss the discovery. I had huge plans of how I'm going to mod this thing, and just for the fun of it, I'm going to include the discoveries. Let me quickly do that. Save design. And I'm just going to do it here. And I am going to upload it to this video's description if you want to try to, fly around with the discovery, then you are going to get that chance. Not sure why would you want to, but there you go. The future of Avorion is going to include much more missions, much more varied systems, because one of my problems with this game is if I go here and I can see that there's an unexplored system, if it's a green system, then I know it's going to be either an asteroid field or a non-pirate, just a regular settlement. And if I go to a yellow one, then I know it's going to be either, just the regular pirate bases or something else. It is not that interesting for me. But yeah. Anyway, with the Avorion Let's Play done, I am going to focus a little bit more on Freelancer. So that is a good thing if you are into that sort of thing. And that is pretty much it. Again, if you have any interest in how my single-player game progresses, I can do some updates every once in a while. But overall, I think my overall gaming time is going to decrease as of today because the season for my work is starting up again. The overall activity of clients is increasing. And during especially busy workdays, I come home and sitting down at the PC and playing games is something I just can't be bothered with. So again, this is one of the reasons why I don't usually do very active YouTube things, because I know at some point I will get swamped. But it was genuinely fun while it lasted. I really like the comments. I enjoyed replying to them. And I'm going to enjoy that in the future as well. I think what killed it for me was this thing, the turret factory and the turret we got for it. Like, the amount of effort you get from creating your own turrets is just not really good. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around with me. This was quite a journey. This was an interesting take on the concept. I'm going to return to Avorion, as already said, in a later date, once the game comes out, for example. And until now, or until later, this is Pansy Dragon aka Syndromes. Fly safe.